tells me there's going to be some technology difficulties with this video. There already has. So yesterday on video, I caught 3 Mexican dudes who are involved next door casing my house. Had I not come home when I did, I have a feeling my house would have been broken into. And the neighbor that I have had all kinds of difficulties with was sitting outside, engaging with them at the exact same time. That's what was happening. They were engaging at the exact same time. So if you go check out the link, you'll find out exactly what was going on, the first link. So today, I left my house for an hour. And when I returned, the dickhead had come back into my house and stole one of my dog's food bowls. It was a special bowl. It was actually for eating. It slows down dogs eating. I knew exactly where it was because I almost fed them before I left and then just decided I wasn't going to be gone long. When I got home, the bowl is gone. Basically, what the dickhead was showing me, that he can come in anytime he wants and there's nothing I can do. And taking that food bowl had special, because it was a focus on my dogs. The dickhead wants to play, so let's play. Geo Farnsworth bragged to me that he's in contact with one of my neighbors. I know exactly who the fuck it is. It's the meth head who doesn't have a fucking job, who's home all the time. He's the one who told me when I first moved in that he was happy that I turned my light on and off. I turned my porch light off in the morning because they knew if I was alive or not, which was a fucked up thing to say. It's also the same neighbor, Daniel Dowd, actually went about and told people, oh, David Shurter's giving his book out to his neighbors like he's famous. There's only one neighbor I did that to. The same fucking meth head. The same meth head. And so, the same meth head who was dealing with this shit yesterday. So let me point out some stuff. This dude is in contact with Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth. If you look at communications, I bet there's phone records showing that that dickhead was in contact with Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth when Owen was murdered, and they were in town taking live videos of my town and posting them on YouTube. I bet it's the same. I bet there's communications. At 11 o'clock, the morning of Owen's funeral, I didn't go to Owen's funeral. Someone tried to break into my house. I would be willing to bet that they were over in his apartment building, Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth, who were posting live videos. The neighbor that Geo Farnsworth is saying that he's been in contact with and was joking, but now when I called him out, oh, I was lying. You know, funny how it works that way. Funny how it works that way. There's going to be contact. More importantly, that laptop that got stolen. I bet there's communications. I bet you're going to find communication records, phone records, email around the exact same time that computer, I got the email about that Dell laptop being stolen out of my house. Who was it? The fucking meth head next door. That's who it is. He's been playing games with me all day today because he's pissed off. I ended up making another sign for my yard. You know, if you go to that link that I did, you'll see it. You just scroll down. I sent a picture of it. This dickhead is involved with Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth. You got to ask yourself why. What's the connection there? What's the fascination with each other? Because I bet there's connections. The dude is breaking into my house any fucking time he wants. and he's working in league with Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth. Today I've gotten 5 emails from Thomas. He says that Tara Joyce is obsessed with me. They're all obsessed with me. But you want to know who sends me fucking email after email after email after email, day after day after day? Thomas. Thomas Schoenberger. That's the one sending me the fucking emails constantly. And he's bipolar. Today he's being supportive. Yesterday he was being insultive. You know? The numbers are changing. Go ahead, Daniel. Do whatever the fuck you want. When I'm done with this, I'm going to turn it all off. So you go ahead and pay whoever you need to fill this fucking thing full of fucking numbers. You know? Because the shit's going off. Daniel Dowd as Pootie Twang, the convicted fucking pedophile. That dude is meeting kids online and making videos bragging about it. He makes videos about me day after day after day. 7 to 10 fucking videos. And they're all weird ass, dangerous, mentally deranged shit. You can go look and see how many times Geo Farnsworth is posting about me. But Neil, you know who I'm talking about, my neighbor. You saw those videos yesterday. They were fucking undeniable. You know? Undeniable. I don't know where Sherilyn is. They were undeniable. But there's communications between Georgie Porgy, Daniel Dowd, and Geo Farnsworth. And I know because the neighbor on the other side is gone. He's at work today. There's only one person, and he's gone out of his way. You know? He's gone out of his way. You know? There's communications. He was involved with them and helping them when they came in town and murdered Owen. Sherilyn, you do not have... Hold on. Okay, you're a moderator now. I don't know if I hit the right one. But, so Sherilyn is in here now. For some reason, but they're fucking with everything. But when it comes down to it, the computer that was stolen out of my house, I bet there's communications between Georgie Porgy, Geo Farnsworth, and Daniel Dowd. You know? I bet there's communications. I bet there is. I bet that's who came in and stole that computer. He's breaking and entering. That is still against the fucking law, right? And yesterday, had I not come home, they would have fucking invaded my house. They would have come into my house. I caught it on my Ring camera. Neil Gross and all the investigators, Chad Butler, Noah Schilling, and all of the investigators that are the blind carbon copied all have those videos. So today he comes in and steals my dog's bowl. And it's just meant to harass the shit out of me. It's just meant to harass the shit out of me. I knew exactly where that bowl was. I saw it right before I left. I was only gone an hour. But that dickhead wasn't. That dickhead wasn't. He's involved. That's who Geo Farnsworth is bragging about in my neighborhood. When I say on that sign that they're saying that people in my neighborhood are involved, that's exactly who the fuck they're talking about. Right there. Right there. That's who they're talking about. And it's all meant to make me uneasy, drive me insane. That's this whole game. It's their little shock and awe campaign. And they're all criminals. You know? They're all criminals. That's how it works. You know? I knew where that food bowl was. I thought, okay, well, maybe for no reason, my dog pushed it around even though there's no food in it. I have gone through every room. It is no longer here. But I said the second thing, if you go look at that sign, they're going to hurt me and my dogs. That's the reason why he took her food bowl. Because they want to know they can come in anytime they want. And my dogs are all on the table. But there has to be phone records or email records or communications between Georgie Porgy and Geo Farnsworth and Daniel Dowd. And maybe even Thomas Schoenberger. You know? There are connections here. They only have to be looked at. And Georgie Porgy is a self-admitted meth head. He goes to Hero's Attic. Hero's Attic was where I have all the problems. My spiritual advisor's business. That's kitty corner to the sheriff's office in the same parking lot. You know? And Neil is protecting them because Neil is running a meth operation. It's well known in town that he's running a meth operation. Noah Schilling goes down into Noah Schilling is the dude who goes down to the trailer park and deals with the shit. But it's all Neil Gross and the sheriff's department running that meth operation. What's my neighbor involved with? Meth. That's how it's working. That's the reason why my neighbor thinks that he's untouchable, and Daniel Dowd will go on and on and on about he's untouchable, and Geo Farnsworth will go on and on and on about he's untouchable. These are criminals doing shit to hurt people. They're breaking into my house. Fucking Neil knows about it. But Neil Gross, when they came in and murdered Owen, Neil Gross protected them. Of course, it was 6 months after the fact. 6 months after the fact. I don't have that link in there. I'll add it when I'm done. So when I get done with this video, you can go click on that link too. Go see the email exchange I have with Neil, who's protecting these criminals. That's who's protecting these criminals. But around the same time that fucking Owen ended up murdered, and Daniel Dowd as Pootie Twang was posting live videos on YouTube in Harlan, and Geo Farnsworth was posting on YouTube that he was in Harlan, and they were all bragging about it, I bet there's communications, phone records, emails between my neighbor, little Georgie Porgy, and them. So he knew about them coming in town to murder my friend. That's how it works. How else would there be communication contacts? It's the same thing as those idiots that took out that protection order out in Algona. All 15 of those videos listed had absolutely nothing to do with the petitioners. I never spoke about the petitioners of that protection order, not even once. Only and solely about Doug Mesner. Those videos were only and solely about Doug Mesner. Unless there was a connection, how is that possible? This is the shit that's going on. And the dude doesn't work a fucking job. He watches me come and go. He knows when I'm gone. You know? This is a group that actually traffics kids and murders people. And they're breaking into my house at will. They stole a laptop from my house and bragged about it. You can go click on the link and see how they were bragging. But I bet that exact time frame, I bet my neighbor was involved with either Daniel Dowd, whose sister lives in Joplin, Missouri, or Geo Farnsworth. I bet. Quite the connection. Quite the coincidence. You know? Quite the coincidence. But that's how this shit is working. He breaks into my house at will. Yesterday, I caught the shit. You could see the three dudes. You could see two of the dudes actually casing out my house right in front of my house. And the other dude was over standing and talking to my neighbor who was sitting outside on the porch, and then he walked over, but I pulled in at the exact same time. So obviously they weren't all involved. They weren't all anxious to break into my house when I'm pulling into my driveway. But it's all on video. I sent this shit out yesterday. All of that was on video. I caught it all. And that was the third time that day. They'd been casing my house all day. Every time I turned around, they were standing outside staring at my house. All connected. All connected. Wow. The admitted meth head who goes to NA. I know you're not going to stop. And neither am I, dickhead. Neither am I. I'm not stopping either. You know? I'm not going to stop. This is all, illegal bullshit. Why is Neil Gross protecting these people? Why is Neil Gross so eager to fucking protect meth heads? Criminals. I'm not a criminal. Don't have a criminal record. Little infractions that I have throughout my life. And the last one was what? 25 years ago? I'm certainly not a meth head. But this is the shock and awe campaign. Tara Joyce talks about me all the time. All the time. Thomas Schoenberger emails me 10 to 30 times a goddamn day. And it's just crazy shit. Daniel Dowd is Pootie Twang is posting videos of my fucking house burning down. And they're all in here because they're all mad. Because there ain't no 51 people in here. Daniel Dowd is now once again, paying bots to come in here. But I'm going to shut this shit off when I get done with this. You know? I'm going to shit this shit off. So spend your money. I don't give a shit. Won't make any difference. Because no one will see it in the end. But there's communications. There's phone communications. There obviously is phone communications. So what happens when they break in and murder me? Because that's what they're claiming they're going to do. That's what they're claiming. So when they come in and murder me, what's going to happen then? How is Neil Gross, Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff, going to deal with it then? His deputy, or his captain, Chad Butler, and the deputy, Noah Schilling. How are they going to deal with it then? You know? And I'm on fucking record. I'm neither a threat to myself nor anyone else. Just like Isaac Cappy said, but Isaac Cappy ended up dead. And who was all connected to Isaac Cappy's death? Who's been involved ever since Isaac Cappy died? Who's all involved with it? Thomas Schoenberger, Tara Joyce, Geo Farnsworth, Daniel Dowd, Corey Daniel, his Sicilian witch wife, DeFango. They're all connected. They're all part of the Dead Isaac Cappy Club. They're highly enmeshed in it and have been. For what, 4.5 years? 5 years? How long has Isaac been dead? They're completely connected. Every fucking one of them. Every fucking one of them. And for years. If there's not something there, why? You know? Why? I guess it's fucking rocket science, and most people just can't figure it the fuck out. You know? But they are saying that they're gonna come kill me. Pootie Twang is actually making disturbing videos. People are watching them and then contacting me, but I refuse to watch them. I refuse to watch them. I know that one of them just got taken down because someone sent me a screenshot. They got notified that the video got taken down. You know? So they're posting all kinds of weird ass shit, threatening me. Threatening to murder me, breaking into my house, stealing laptops. Fuck, he was the meth head next door just came in and stole my fucking dog bowl today. You know? That's the shit that's going on. And I could call my sheriff all I want. Maybe they'll do what they did when they were sending me a bunch of pictures of kids online. Send me to an FBI satellite office in Council Bluffs that doesn't exist. Because they don't give a shit, you know? Why let them bully you? How the fuck am I supposed to stop them? They break into my house at will. Let people come in and break into your house whenever they want. Do whatever they want. Take whatever they want. Steal whatever they want. See how you react. You know? See how you react. It's always okay to just dismiss, you know? Oh, yeah. That's what they want, is for me to react so that they can come after me and then say that I'm the bad guy for reacting because they're breaking into my house. I'm just calling it out. I'm just calling it the shit out. You know? I have cameras, but they're on Wi-Fi, and there's a device that scrambles Wi-Fi. I checked my cameras today. Do you know that my dogs are in the living room? The camera that was in the living room picked them up every few minutes because if they move on the couch. But when I left, there's an hour missing. The hour that I was gone is missing. The dogs are still on the couch an hour later, but there's no video for an hour. So they're able to use that device to scramble it. That's what they were planning on doing yesterday. You know, that's what they were planning on doing yesterday. Because little Georgie Porgy was sitting outside and the 3 Mexicans were at my fucking front door. You know, that's how it works. They were going to come break into my house. And because I stopped it and put a sign out in my door, then he had to come into my house when I left today so that he can actually take my dog's food bowl. And I knew exactly where it is. Like I said, I looked at it and saw exactly where it was before I left this morning. And now it's just evaporated. It's gone. It just, little elves, I guess, came into the house and took it. You know? It's the same shit. But again, there has to be phone records contacting them. There has to be phone records connecting little Georgie Porgy and Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth when that computer got stolen. I bet goddamn well that there are communications between Georgie Porgy, Daniel Dowd, and Geo Farnsworth when Owen got murdered. Because the day of Owen's funeral at 11 o'clock, it wasn't like I wasn't downstairs. I was downstairs doing a video. And they tried to break into my house at 11 o'clock. I had to stop the video. I went upstairs to check to realize someone had just tried to come into my house, came downstairs and finished the video. And I said that someone had just tried to break into my house. You know? Did I call Neil Gross? No. Because what would be the fucking point? This is the shit they do to their victims. That's the shit that they do. This shock and awe, breaking into their house, buying a bot farm so that they can fill up my fucking email or my thing with bots. Because this is all bots. There's not 60 people in here. There's not 60 people in here. This is all Daniel Dowd. This is all Daniel Dowd and his pootie twang bullshit. When he's not posting videos of my house burning down, or posting videos how he's going to murder me, how he's right around and he's going to get me. Geo Farnsworth saying that he's untouchable and laughing that he's talking to my neighbors. And then when I call him out, oh, I was lying. I knew you would take it up and you would make a lie out of it. Dude, I just called you on what you said. Fuck, you can go look. Go click on those links. You can see what he said. He admits that he said it. You know? If I had a gun, I'd already be gone. They would have murdered me. They would have murdered me. A restraining order isn't going to stop them. A restraining order is not going to stop them, you know? But you can go see, they're all saying that they're untouchable. They're all saying, Daniel Dowd is saying he's untouchable. Geo Farnsworth is saying he's untouchable. Thomas Schoenberger goes on and on and on about how he's untouchable. You know? They all believe that. They all believe that. This is what I know. That fucking glacier just fell down in Sweden and demolished a building. That supervolcano in Italy is about ready to explode. Supervolcanoes exploding are generally extinction level events. This morning, I woke up and the New York Post posted, do you know that there are 3 city killer asteroids headed straight for us? We couldn't see them because they were coming from Venus and the sun was in the way. But now they have seen. And they're headed right for us. They really do think they're going to hit us this time. You know? That's the shit that's coming. The dark is about ready to claim them. The dark is about, and they're so fucking stupid they can't even see it. And I say hallelujah, can't fucking happen enough. Blatten got flattened, that's what they're saying. Exactly, and now it's getting ready. They had to evacuate, what, 2 or 3 more villages? Because the shit's not done. It's about ready to come down, and it's going to destroy those villages next. You know? But this is what's happening. And again, Neil, there has to be phone contacts from the time that computer was stolen. I don't think that Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth came into my house and stole that laptop. You know? It was Georgie Porgy. You know? He was the one who actually was all involved yesterday in the videos I sent you. You can see, other people who have seen those videos can exactly see what was going on. They can see what's going on. And then the dickhead came in and stole my dog's food bowl. You know? At a time that they know. And then again, Daniel Dowd is paying bots, but that's okay, because none of this shit's going to last. When I get done with this, I'm going to shut all that shit off. You know? So he can waste all of his money all he wants. You know? Blatten is gone. Blatten in Switzerland is gone. Oh my God. Dude, the fact that you call yourself Cum Run shows exactly who you are and what you're all about. But that's Daniel Dowd. That's the kind of shit that's going on. You know? But all of this shit is about the child trafficking ring that has been trying to expose. They murdered Isaac Cappy over this shit. Isaac Cappy was talking about the same shit I was. It's the whole reason what they're doing to me is the exact same thing they're doing to Nathan Stoltman. It's just out in the open. Everyone can see it. That's the reason why they think they're untouchable. Because they think no one can touch them. No one can touch them. But when Owen got murdered, President's Day 2 years ago, I bet there's communication that they can find out from Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth and Georgie Porgy. I bet there is. It's not like they did smoke signals. It's not like they have psychic abilities and we're talking about it to each other telepathically. I bet there's phone records. I bet there's phone records. In fact, I fucking would bet good money that there's phone records. I bet right now there's phone records. I bet they're in contact now while he's breaking into my house. You know? I bet there's phone records now. The shit is coming down. The sun is having a direct influence on what's happening on the planet. We're at the end days. And the darkness is about ready to claim them. That's how it's going to work. The darkness is getting ready to claim them, and it can't happen fast enough. No, the Epstein list is never going to come out. Never. Never. They're now telling everybody, the officials, the Trump officials are now saying Epstein killed himself. You really think they're going to release anything about Epstein? You know? You think they're going to release anything about Epstein? Fuck, Trump is so busy pardoning criminals who stole money to buy yachts and defraud banks and all of that. He's just, we live in lawless days. We live in lawless days. Fuck, from what I understand on Howard Stern, last night they were laughing about pedophilia. Isn't it funny? Isn't fucking children funny? Don't we find it hilarious? Can't we make jokes about fucking children? The world we live in is sick. Oh yeah. Sherilyn told me that my mood matches Smokey's because Smokey didn't appreciate them laughing about pedophiles on Howard Stern yesterday either. I didn't see it. Thank God I didn't see it. I'm too busy having to worry that they're going to break into my house every fucking minute I leave. Because the fucking meth head just watches, and he's involved with Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth. I know there's communications that are going on there. I know there's communications, and I know that Neil Gross is protecting them. Chad Butler is protecting them. Noah Schilling is protecting them. Because the meth head probably works in their little meth operation. Doesn't it usually work that way? Meth operation, meth heads, doesn't it usually work that way? But he wanted to let me know that he could break into my house anytime he wanted, and he stole my dog's food bowl. So now I have a dog that gets sick because she inhales her food so fast. I can't slow her down anymore because I can't afford to go buy a new bowl. You know? Anybody who wants to donate, it's end of the month blues for me. You know? But you can go to my blog and read the shit that I've had to deal with. You can go to my blog, davidshurter.com, and just read the emails. I just fucking take screenshots and see the shit that I've had to deal with. That's all the stuff that I've dealt with. That's not even all of it. There's more. But the stuff that's posted on there, from what I've been told, overwhelms people. It's the shock and awe. What they're doing to me is the same thing that they're doing to Nathan Stoltman. And what is it doing to Nathan Stoltman? Driving him into a fucking mental institution. Which Thomas Schoenberger knows all about and tells everybody all about. Fuck HIPAA laws. Fuck laws. Fuck laws. Thomas Schoenberger knows every goddamn thing going on with Nathan Stoltman, but he hasn't talked to Nathan Stoltman in years. You know? In years. He hasn't talked to Nathan Stoltman in years. But he knows what hospital he's going to. He knows when he's in the hospital. He knows everything there is to know about everything. You know? But he's not involved. Knows everything. I guess fucking he reads it off the wind. You know? And Daniel Dowd. And Geo Farnsworth. And Tara Joyce. Corey Daniel. DeFango. Gabe Hoffman. Craig Sawyer. Ron Patton. Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. Because he's using that Satanic Temple after-school daycare bullshit to target the kids. That's how this pedophile shit is going. That's how it's working. All these pedophiles that are getting busted doing all of this weird shit, I've dealt with all because I've had to deal with them trying to expose this. I can't turn a blind eye and just let fucking kids get fucked. Oh, well. Or laugh about it. I suppose I could go watch Howard Stern and laugh about it like everybody else does. Because pedophilia is funny, isn't it? Fucking kids, that's funny. You know? I'm hoping that it ends in our watch. Sherilyn knows how I feel today. I'm angry at God. I'm tired of being violated. I'm tired of the violation. I'm tired of all these motherfuckers thinking they can do whatever they want. Daniel Dowd fucking brags about it. Parades around like some weird ass pedophile peacock. So does Geo Farnsworth. And Georgie Porgy next door is breaking into my house anytime he wants. Fuck, he tried to help other people break into my house yesterday. And I caught it on video. My police have the video. Investigators have the video. There's several people who have seen the video. It was 2 Ring videos. And you can see what's happening. You can see what's going on. And that was the 3rd time yesterday. The 2 times before were in the back. And I didn't catch it on the Ring camera because there's no Ring camera in the back. You know? Welcome to my fucking world, Smokey. Welcome to my fucking world. I don't think I have any insides left. You know? I am so sick and tired of fucking people defending fucking pedophiles. Neil Gross will protect the fucking pedophiles and the fucking meth heads breaking and entering and stealing shit from my house. That's who he protects. You know? I don't have a gun. And they don't do it when I'm here. They don't do it when I'm here. He doesn't have a goddamn job. He waits for me to leave. You know? He sits at home and waits for me to leave. The justice guy has approved pedo-op. That's exactly it. Pedophilia is okay. It's acceptable. You know? I'm waiting for Donald Trump to pardon Diddy. And I know everyone's going to say, oh, that'll never happen. Mm-hmm. Watch. Watch. And it'll be in everyone's fucking face, and no one will do a fucking thing about it. That's how it'll work. Just like it always does. Yeah, Diddy's a weirdo. It won't happen because Diddy's black. If he was a white pedophile, Trump would pardon him. But he's not gonna, and he's not gonna pardon George Santos either, because George Santos is gay. You know? Birds of a feather. Sure could. Sure could, Susan, you're right. Sure could. I figure what they're doing is trying to feed me so much motherfucking stress that it ends up causing, because I'm broke. They're so focused on my fucking finances. Tara Joyce is focused on my finances. Thomas Schoenberger won't fucking shut up about my finances. Just goes on and on and on. They're totally focused. You know? They're totally focused on everything, with Daniel Dowd fucking making videos of my house burning down, and then I'm gonna get murdered, and he's coming after me, and I'd see him soon, and all that bullshit. Geo Farnsworth fucking posting every hour on the hour, it seems like, about me. You know? And it's all bullshit. And it would be easy to find out. I know that there's communications, like I said, between Georgie Porgy, Daniel Dowd, Geo Farnsworth. I bet there was communications around the same time that computer disappeared. And I bet as fuck there were communications when Owen was murdered and they were in town making videos. But my sheriff will say, oh, it's not my job. Just like it wasn't his job to count explosions at the Earling, Iowa gas station. You know? It wasn't his job. Not my job to count explosions. But obviously it's his job to make sure they lie about it. One explosion that levels the place is way different than 2 explosions that happen 9.5 minutes apart. Where the owner was able to get out of the gas station, go back in the gas station, get his brother-in-law, and get them both out to safety. before the second explosion leveled the place. There's a difference between that. There's a difference, you know? There's a difference. And that's how this is working. And that's the reason why they're running around saying they're untouchable. Georgie Porgy thinks he's untouchable. Fuck, he sat out on his fucking front porch and tried to help those 3 Mexicans break into my house yesterday. Broke into my house today. Took my dog's food bowl. You know? I bet there's communications when they stole my laptop and then bragged about it. I didn't even know the fucking thing was gone. I reported it to the police. Guess what they've done? Not a fucking thing. Not a fucking thing. I bet there's communications between Georgie Porgy, Daniel Dowd, and Gio Farnsworth when Owen was murdered. I bet there is. I bet there's communications. I bet they were over in that apartment building when they tried to break into my house at 11 o'clock at night, at 11 o'clock in the morning, thinking I had gone to Owen's funeral. But I didn't go to Owen's funeral. I was home. And I just happened to be making a video. People remember that video. They remember that video. I'll go find the video. It won't be that hard to find. I know exactly when it was because it was the day of Owen's funeral. All I have to do is go back to that very date and I'll post the video. It won't be that hard. Won't be that hard at all. And I bet there's phone communications. I bet there's contact. I bet there is. And they murdered Owen. But murder, I guess, isn't Neil's job either. Neil's job isn't to count explosions. Neil is not, it's not his job to actually deal with murders. It's not his job to do anything. It's his job to protect fucking meth heads and child traffickers and murderers. That's his job. That's what he was elected to do. You know? This has been a nightmare. But I have a feeling that it's almost over. I have a feeling that it's almost over. As pissed off as I am, I'm still going to pray. Because right now it's hard for me to think that God isn't entertained by all this. But let me pray. Heaven, I come to you disgruntled. Disgruntled. You can read Psalms. That's how I feel. I would love you to bring my enemies to their knees rather than sit back and let them celebrate their criminality. It sometimes almost seems like you like the fucking criminals. You're entertained by it. You know? And that kills me, since I've fought so hard to try and expose this, and fought so hard for the word, fought so hard for my fellow man, because I love my fellow man and I think children deserve more. And you want to know what? I don't give a fuck who cares what I have to say. I think I deserve more than having some fucking meth head break into my house whenever he fucking feels like it and taking whatever he wants. For them to come into town and murder my friend and post live videos all over fucking YouTube and celebrate it and dance around about it. Maybe I'm wrong. You know? I don't know what the fuck I've done. But to say that I'm disgruntled is an understatement. And I'm not saying this shit in your son's name. I'm just saying it to say it. Amen. And that's all I'm going to do. Tired of them breaking into my fucking house. Now I have a dog that's going to get sick every time I feed her. Because I don't have that food bowl anymore. It had things that made it so she had to eat it slower. You know? But fuck it, you know? Shit, they'll fucking come in and murder me, and then everyone will be like, oh, well, they murdered David. Who else can we go look at? Just like it happened with Isaac Happy. Just like it happened with Lori Spears. Just like it, or Lori King. Just like it happened with Max Spears. You know? And I don't mean to play martyr. But this shit sucks. This shit sucks. And yet, despite everything, despite them, despite God, despite everything, I would still stay here. You know? I would still stay here. You realize that the stupid shit that you actually put on here, I'm just taking screenshots and I'm actually just going to post it to my blog. You know? Northwest Iowa. Matthew Church is in Northwest. I'm in Southwest Iowa. You know? And they'll just dance around as they are in here. They're coming in here and dancing around because they're criminality. Cherokee, you're not all that far away from me then. Dude, I'm just in Harlan. You know? Michigan's pretty. My father was from Michigan. Michigan is fucked up with the child abuse. There's a lot of shit going on there. I'm just... And then the shit that they're doing to Nathan Stoltman is wrong. It's wrong. You know? And it's not like they haven't done it to everyone else. It's not like they haven't done it to other people. And then they dance around. Because why? Because Daniel Dowd will tell you he's untouchable. Geo Farnsworth will tell you he's untouchable. Thomas Schoenberger will tell you he's untouchable. Tara Joyce will tell you she's untouchable. Gabe Hoffman will tell you he's untouchable. Lucian Grease, founder of the Satanic Temple, will definitely tell you he's untouchable. Craig Sawyer, untouchable. You know? DeFango, untouchable. The whole Sewer Town group, untouchable. They're untouchable, can't be touched. They can commit whatever crimes they want. They can traffic as many fucking kids as they want. They can kill as many kids as they want. They're untouchable. Can't do shit to them. You know? Until they get touched. And I have a feeling, I just hope that God is about ready to fucking touch them. So, I'm keeping this short because I'm not in any mood. I'm broke. I'm stressed. I'm upset. I can't leave my house because the fucking meth head will be in my house the minute I leave. You know? Completely in contact with Daniel Dowd and Geo Farnsworth, but my fucking sheriff is too busy fucking protecting the meth heads and the criminals and the pedophiles because Daniel Dowd is a pedophile. Has a mugshot, got busted for fucking someone under the age of 12. But that's right. If you watch Howard Stern last night, it's all funny now. Pedophilia is funny. Fucking kids is funny, isn't it? Because they were laughing on Howard Stern about it. And if you have a problem with it, you're just too uptight. You know? You're just too uptight. You know, I had someone tell me today, because I brought up that whole wood chipper. She looked at me and said, or a friend with hogs. And I started laughing. Because she was dead serious. If you don't have a wood chipper, all you need is a friend with hogs. Everything but the teeth. And I laughed. Because it came from someone you wouldn't quite expect. You wouldn't expect it from this person. Muslim, I know. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in the weaknesses. in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. And that's true. That's true. You know, babe, I'm tired of feeling like God is letting them bitch slap me. I'm ready for God to bitch slap them. You know? I'm ready for it. I've you know, stressed beyond belief. Stressed beyond belief. And that's their whole point. They're trying to see if they can get me to drop over of a heart attack or a stroke. That's their whole fucking point, I think. You know? Their whole fucking point. And I'm just... And yet, here I am. You know? Here I am. Still fighting. And will, till the end. Because I don't think pedophiles are funny. I don't think criminality is funny. I don't think meth heads breaking into my house is funny. I don't think this shock and awe campaign of driving people insane is funny. I don't think Thomas Schoenberger is funny. I certainly don't think Tara Joyce is funny. I could not imagine her in a comedy show. Well, I could, but it would be crazy. Well, Leo Parada, you can think it's funny all you want. Piece of shit. And that's exactly what they think. Enrique Escarda said, there's no God, there's just us. That's what they believe. And that's the reason why they act with impunity and they think they're untouchable. And so, you know, and I just know, at least I know that there are some of you out there who give a shit. You know? So when things are getting bad, and they've been really bad the last few days, I know that there are people out there who give a shit. Not just about everything that I've been talking about, but about me. You know? I know there are people out there that give a shit about me. And that helps. You know? It does. It helps. Prayers. The fact that you guys are in here talking helps. Donations definitely help. End of the month blues. You know? And then they just come into my house and steal shit that I have to replace. I don't know how I'm going to replace that dog bowl. And they took it because they knew it would stress me out. And I said they were going to come hurt me and my dogs. That's the reason why the meth head took the dog bowl. Because it was a message. Just like him sending those fucking Mexicans to my house yesterday. You know? He was going to scramble the Wi-Fi like he does and just let them right on in the house. And they were focused on it. I have them on video. You know? I have them on video. And sent that video out. You know? Don't know what ICP is. I don't know what ICP is either. That's the reason why I was told about this whole thing with Howard Stern, but I didn't understand it because I didn't get the acronyms, you know? That's just it. If I put up bear traps, if I set any traps, they're going to get me in trouble. Let alone I have dogs. And they would never leave them alone. You know? I would end up hurting my dogs. They're going to end up hurting my dogs. They're going to end up hurting me. They want me to know that. Pootie Twang, Daniel Dowd, is making video after video after video assuring me of it. Thomas Schoenberger and his shock and awe campaign of email after email after email after email after email. And then he gets his friends involved, email after email after email after email. Because I'm trying to expose their pedophile ring. I guess I should show my book before I get off here. I wrote a book about my family's involvement in Franklin and the pedophile ring that was going on in Omaha. I got nominated for Book of the Year. All those, if you live in the United States, this book is $30. My PayPal and my Venmo are just D Shurter. My first initial, my last name. That's my PayPal and Venmo. $30. If you live out of the United States, let me know. Someone actually wanted a book, I think, but they sent me a request for $30. I'm not paying you $30 to read my book. You know, maybe it was a mistake, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. But of course I was like, no, you know, I'm not going to pay you $30 so that I can send you a copy of my book, you know. But I don't know. Shit, they break in it, that meth head fucking breaks in at will. So when they break in here, the human trafficking is bad here. It's also bad in Michigan. My father's family at one time owned Cassopolis, Michigan. My father's family owned almost everything in that town. That's where my father was from, was Cassopolis, Michigan. And let me tell you, the child trafficking was bad there. But it's bad here too, you know? Interstate 80 is a child trafficking hub. It's a human trafficking hub. They're trafficking people on that Interstate 80 constantly. They say it all the time. You know, trafficking people, kids, drugs. It's bad everywhere. It's bad everywhere. And why is it bad? You live 10 minutes from Cassopolis. That's funny. My dad is from Niles, Michigan, too. My father's family, the rest of my family, my father's family lived in Niles, Michigan. That's where my dad was from. Niles, and his family owned Cassopolis. His Uncle Phil is the one who indoctrinated him and my Uncle Jack into this bullshit. Because it's bloodline. Sioux City is really bad for human trafficking. Sioux City, Iowa is really bad for human trafficking. But it's bad everywhere, you know? Because the cops are like the cops are here, they look away. The fucking meth head that breaks into my house at will, who's involved with people who murdered my friend Owen. He broke in, stole my fucking laptop, you know? He won't get in trouble because the fucking Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross and his Captain Chad Butler and his Deputy Noah Schilling protect him. Don't give a shit about the victims, you know? I don't know how you find out if there's human trafficking. It can't be that hard to figure out. I know that Sherilyn's not deleting your messages. Aren't we sick of pedos? Exactly. Aren't we sick of them? Isn't it exhausting already? You know? Isn't it exhaustive? I hate to do this, but I want to keep it at an hour. I'll be back in on Sunday. We're going to do it Sunday. I don't think Smokey works a lot on Sundays, and I'll stay on here, Smokey, for you to retype your message. I don't know the highways. I don't know that much about Michigan. And now Daniel Dowd is texting me. The last time I did a thing, he texted me 171 times. That was the last live. Now he's just texting me over and over and over again. I'll just fucking take screenshots of that, send it out to everyone so that they can see. but I know goddamn well that there's phone communications between him, Daniel Dowd, Geo Farnsworth, and Georgie Porgy next door. When that laptop got stolen, which Johnny Dubb, Thomas Schoenberger's friend, was the one who was bragging about it. Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. Thomas Schoenberger swears that it's not. Just over and over and over and over and over. That's Daniel Dowd, you know? Just keeps texting over and over and over and over. And I forgot to turn down the notification thing. But I'm in an hour, so I don't give a shit. You know? I've not seen the app. But I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of hearing my notification. Daniel Dowd is just doing what he's doing. I guess he's taking, he needs a welfare check. Thomas Schoenberger needs a welfare check. Fucking Daniel Dowd's kid needs a welfare check. Geo Farnsworth's kids need a welfare check. You know? They need a welfare check. But I know that when they came in town and were posting all the videos of Harlan, when they murdered Owen, I know there's phone communications between Georgie Porgy, Daniel Dowd, and Geo Farnsworth. I fucking bet that there's fucking phone communications there. That's where they were when they tried to break into my house during Owen's funeral at 11 o'clock in the morning. I bet that's where they were from. They came from that fucking Georgie Porgy's place. That's how it happened. I bet there's phone communications, and I bet fucking Neil Gross hasn't looked into it whatsoever. Not a fucking thing. You're watching harassment in real time. That's what this is. You're watching it. You're watching the harassment in real time. You know? You're watching it. You know? Obsessive fucks, but then when you go murder someone, maybe it's just because I've watched CSI before, but you know, when you murder someone, maybe it's not the fucking brightest to go brag about it to everyone who will fucking listen. It's probably not great to go post your shit on fucking YouTube. You know? I grew up with their fucking secrets. And Daniel Dowd, Geo Farnsworth, Thomas Schoenberger, I simply just started talking about Isaac Cappy. 2 years ago, I started talking about Isaac Cappy. And all of a sudden, they fucking descended upon me. And they brag. All the time, they brag. They're untouchable. So they brag about everything. They brag. They brag. But in town, I know exactly who they're in contact with. The same motherfucker who just broke into my house this morning and stole my dog's bowl. The same motherfucker who was trying to set up those 3 Mexicans to come into my fucking house yesterday that I got all on Ring camera. And you could see them all interacting with each other. That's how it worked. And they were all outside. So it wasn't fucking hard. All on video. But Neil ain't gonna do shit because he doesn't want his meth operation busted out. So it's 1:04. I'm gonna get off here. I think you've seen enough. You know, you've seen enough. Sherilyn, you know that I'm gonna be doing my usual. And so Sunday at 2, I'll be on here. For anybody who can donate, D Shurter. PayPal and Venmo is just D Shurter. If you want to book, $30. Tell me where I'm sending it. Tell me who I'm inscribing it to. I really appreciate you guys being in here. It helps. You know, it helps. And so, with that said, I'll talk to you guys later. No, Smokey. Don't worry about it. I know that there are some people who cannot donate. If it came up to me having to donate, fuck, I don't have a pot to piss in. You know, I couldn't donate. But dude, a lot of you who can't donate, donate in other ways. Your time, your energy, your thoughts and prayers, your love. You know? Right, Muslim. Don't feel bad. My mom always told me, always ask. All you can be told is no. You know? But it doesn't hurt to ask. So I ask. Because it doesn't hurt to ask. You know? But do not feel compelled. Do not feel like there's judgment being on you, down on you if you can't. Fuck. Don't think anything like that. Because it's not. We all have our crosses to bear. And unfortunately, those who follow Christ have it hard. We have it hard. Those who fucking celebrate fucking pedophiles seem to have all kinds of money in the bank. How funny how it works that way. You know? But let me reiterate, Neil Gross. I bet there's phone communications between Georgie Porgy, Daniel Dowd, and Geo Farnsworth when that computer was stolen. And if you have any fucking question when that happened, go click on the description in the link, the second link, and you will see I have the email when they started bragging about it. It's right around that time. And I know you're not interested in finding out if there's communications between Georgie Porgy, Daniel Dowd, and Geo Farnsworth when fucking Owen was murdered. But that's because when I started to make an issue out of it, you didn't get involved until 6 months later. And then you protected them. They came in and murdered my friend, but I was the dickhead because I was making an issue out of it. And how do I know they came in and murdered Owen? Because they bragged about it. Why else were they in town posting live videos of town? How is that even fucking possible? You know? Because they were in town. And why? That's the big question. We all know why. You know? But I know there's fucking phone records. Geo Farnsworth just bragged that he's in contact with my neighbors. Guess what neighbor it is? You know? Just fucking bragged about it. And then when I called him out, of course, he said, "Oh, I was just lying to you. I just wanted to see what would happen." Uh-huh. Funny how Geo Farnsworth and Thomas Schoenberger are exactly the same. They do exactly the same shit. They say stuff, and then when you call them out on it, then they change it and then throw it back on you like you're the dickhead. You know? Working hard to fill my heart today with love. Lord help me. Thank you, Sherilyn. That's exactly it. Because to be quite honest today, there's not a whole lot of love in my heart. I hate to say it, but there's not. We all have days like this. But the fact that now they've put my dog in jeopardy. You know? They put my dog in jeopardy now. Now I have to deal with the dog that's going to get sick every time she eats. You know? But I'm just supposed to suck it up and get over it because these fucking Nazis think they can just do whatever the fuck they want. You know? What would have happened had he let those fucking Mexicans in my house yesterday, which are all on video? You can see them interacting. You can see them at the front of my house. You can see it. It's pretty fucking easy. It was evident. To anybody whose head isn't so far up their ass, they're not getting enough oxygen to their brain. Neil Gross, Chad Butler, Noah Schilling. Maybe you're doing too much meth. Too much meth? Joining Georgie Porgy, are you? Or are you his dealer?